14th, Wednesday, August 14th. It is 6:30 p.m. Calling to order the Board of Selectmen meeting at 6:30 p.m. Before I begin with the pledge, please be aware that this meeting is being recorded for use on the internet and a local cable station. Those of you who can stand, if you could stand and join us for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first item on the agenda is a public hearing at 6:30. And I'm going to turn this portion of the meeting over to Mike, as I'm going to recuse myself from this, as my company, the company I work for, has done business with Hockomock, the existing liquor store, in the past. So,
Town of West Bridgewater Public Hearing Board of Selectmen. Pursuant to Chapter 138 and Chapter 140 of Massachusetts General Laws, a public hearing will be held on Wednesday, August 14, 2024, at 6:30 p.m. in the Eldon F. Morera Board of Selectmen Meeting Room, Town Hall, 65 North Main Street, West Bridgewater, Massachusetts, on the application for transfer of an annual all-alcohol off-premise liquor license from Walter Thayer, 235 West Center Street, West Bridgewater, Massachusetts, to AZ Ventures, DBA Hockomock Liquors, 235 West Center Street, West Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Interested parties are invited to be present and to be heard. Board of Selectmen, signed Jeff P. Ryan, Chairman.
Now, ask for a vote to open the hearing.
I need a motion to open the hearing.
Make a motion to open the hearing.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right on.
So, the attorney is here, so if you would like to speak, please.
Yes, good evening. My name is Attorney Tom Souza. I represent AZ Ventures, and tonight I'm here with the principal owner of AZ Ventures, Mr. Zahib Shahid, and also the proposed manager for Hockomock Liquors, Mr. Hassan Shabazz. Very experienced. He currently has ownership interests in 3 other stores down on the Cape. Has never had any problems for years. He's reviewed the alcohol policy, met with the chief of police, and ready to go. And they're here if you have any questions.
Awesome. You knocked out 2 of our questions right off the bat. Usually that's one of the things we ask if you've read and reviewed and you had any questions on the alcohol policies. So I'd like to hear from you, gentlemen. Have you read, reviewed, and have any questions on the alcohol policy?
No, we reviewed that.
Yep.
Okay.
Questions, that's it.
Yeah,
All right.
I have no questions. Do you have any questions for us on anything else?
No, thank you.
Right on.
At this point, your option is that you can take a vote in order to issue or deny the license, and then you would take a vote to close the hearing.
I'll make a motion to approve the license.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll take a motion to close the hearing.
Make a motion to close the hearing.
And I'll second and close the hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Done.
All right.
congratulations.
Easy enough. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving along. Something I've seen on the wall in the almost 2 years I've sat here, and this is the first time we get to dedicate the Boston Post cane. So, and with us tonight is Miss Natalie Boyu. Okay, I do my best, and we are excited to have you here and to present the cane to you. I think at this point, it's fantastic. We're thrilled to have you. At this point, I believe somebody from the Historical Commission has. Do you have any? Are we too early?
No, you can.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Come on, man. You're reading it as I read it to you. Okay. Natalie, we're so excited for you and the family. This is an honor. And it's one of our greatest pleasures as the Historical Commission of West Bridgewater. we do this along with the selectmen, and they have something they will do, as you can see, perhaps on their agenda. But my job is to read you about the Boston Post cane. In August of 1909, a Mr. Edward Bozier, who was the publisher of the Boston Post, forwarded to the boards of selectmen in 700 towns, all in New England, and they presented each of them with a gold-headed ebony cane, which is behind you. The original one is behind you on the wall. And the request was that it be presented with the compliments of the Boston Post to the oldest living man in the town, to be used by him as long as he lives, and at his death, handed down to the next eldest man in town. Hold on now, women are going to enter into this. The cane remained the property of the town and not of the man who received it. The custom was expanded to include women in 1930. The canes were all made by J.F. Bradley and Company, a New York manufacturer. The manufacturer used ebony, shipped in 7-foot lengths from the Congo in Africa. They were cut to cane lengths, seasoned for 6 months, turned on lathes to the right thickness, and then coated with decorated by hand. Each cane donned a 14-karat gold, 2-inch long header, decorated by hand and a furrowed tip. The head was personalized for each town and engraved with the inscription, presented by the Boston Post to the oldest citizen of West Bridgewater, to be transmitted. The Board of Selectmen was to be the trustees of the cane and keep it always in the hands of the oldest citizen. No Connecticut towns were included, and only 2 towns in Vermont are known to have canes. This is a replica cane of what you see behind you. And it's for you, Natalie.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh,
And I'm going to leave you.
So at this point, the Board of Selectmen have a few things we'd like to present you with.
oh my goodness.
And I will start right here.
So popular.
There you go. Congratulations, we're so proud to have you. We're so proud to have you with the cane and in this town. We're just thrilled, so thank you.
Am I the only person in the town?
That has the cane? Yes,
Really?
you're it with the cane. Yes.
You're the cane lady now.
And now Mike has something as well.
You guys, you won't want to give it back.
It's hers. That's hers.
Natalie,
She
I'll
needed
present
it.
you with this certificate.
Secret.
The certificate reads, the Boston Post cane to the town of West Bridgewater, here on, awarded to you in recognition of holding the honorary position of eldest resident in West Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Signed, the Board of Selectmen, Jeff Ryan, Michael Perez, and Marcy Emily.
Oh, thank you
There
very
you
much.
go.
This is
Very nice to meet you.
One last thing. We've got a pin. And I get to pin you. So it's a little cane. Where would you like it? Where would you like it?
As long as the pointy side doesn't hit skin, right?
Right?
This is such an honor for me.
Right, well, maybe you take the cane home and do it. Okay, okay. All right, you are pinned.
Okay.
You are pinned. Congratulations. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Of course.
Did Boo get a good seat? Did Boo get to see all
You have a
that?
box to take home too.
So at this moment, I'd like to ask the board to take for a quick motion to take a brief recess where we can take some pictures and celebrate for a few seconds, and then we'll get back to business. So,
Sure.
I'll make a motion to take a recess to take some pictures.
Second.
aye.
Excellent.
All
Aye.
right, we're in recess. All right, we're going to call the meeting back to order and move to our next item on the agenda, which is a vote to approve a garage license transfer for auto vision and towing.
Yep, so everything is in order. This is basically a transfer from one person to the other. They are not here this evening. However, everything is in order and my recommendation is there's no reason to deny it.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to,
Make a motion to approve the garage license transfer for auto vision and towing.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next on the list is a vote to approve a Class 1 license transfer from Monty Cycle Shop to Ride Now Mass LLC, doing business as Revolution Road, Harley Davidson. So,
They are here, so if you would like to speak.
hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Welcome.
You- The people with the Harley Davidson shirts would be here for this. That would make too much sense, now wouldn't it?
50 years we've been, well, 75 we've been in town, so
Awesome.
I think we're in the right building. This is Ed, my manager.
Hi guys, nice to meet you.
This is my man. Jace, they'll be being in our building, and yeah, we just want to stay weebies.
Excellent. So, I'm sorry, are you representing Monty's or are you in your right now?
Right now,
Okay.
Monty Cycle
Yeah,
Shop.
name Monty's, I'm a Montigan. My
Okay.
father was Monty.
I was going to say that name has been in town for so long. I grew up down in Rhode Island, and I would hear about Monty's down there, so,
Liked us, we had some lasting power.
yeah,
Times
that's
change.
fantastic. So,
I'm old.
you were not the oldest here today.
No, I
will
was
tell you
not,
that.
that's nice.
So, any discussion from the board?
No, so it's gonna change from, it's just changing, the business is changing?
So, as of right now, all we're selling right now is the franchise contract. Monty Cycle Shop is still going to have its tin and everything else. And then, correct, all they're gonna do is operate off for LLCs, paying our rent. He's just doing the license.
Yeah, well, I'm buying a Harley franchise from them.
Okay.
That's why we'll go from Monty Cycle to Revolution Road Harley.
Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll take a motion.
I make a motion to approve the Class 1 license transfer for Monty's Cycle Shop to Ride Now Mass LLC, doing business as Revolution Road, Harley Davidson.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now we do have, you came up from Dallas.
Yes, sir.
What do you think this conversation's going now? Are you a Cowboys fan?
Football.
Since you already said yes, then I guess I'm a Dallas fan.
He's more of the
Careful, they
hunter.
can reopen that and make another vote.
That's why I wanted to get it closed before I started.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I am missing my Rangers game at the Red Sox. I'm gonna go to Fenway this weekend, so.
awesome.
That's on the bucket list.
Good.
Well, welcome to West Bridgewater,
Thank you, sir.
and I hope you can keep the long-standing tradition going. As I said, that's a landmark in town of some
Yes, sir.
sort. So,
Thank you.
Absolutely.
thank you
I
very
hope
much.
we've done the town proud, because we've been very proud to be part of this town.
Yep.
Generations.
Yes. Like I said, I didn't live all that close to here, and I would hear that name often. So, very nice. Thank you. All right,
Good.
we are done.
We're good.
You are more than welcome
Easy,
to stay or leave or
Gonna go get
go
an
watch
ice
the
cream.
Red Sox games. Get an ice cream.
Dairy Queen. That's
Awesome.
another one in town. When they reopened, it was like, yeah. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Everyone
Best of
have a
luck.
nice
Good
night.
night. Enjoy the game.
Welcome to town,
Thank you.
kind of.
And the pool's open at my mother's. Anybody wants to swim, just
I'll be there in a
help
little bit.
yourself. Take care.
All right, moving along. Next on the agenda is a vote to approve the amendment for employment for agreement for Michael Hutchinson. We all know what that is. Any need for discussion or
Nope.
this time I'll entertain a motion to vote?
Make a motion to approve the amendment to employment agreement for Michael Hutchinson.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next is vote to sign the 2024 state primary warrant. It's presented on the screen. It's pretty straightforward. This time I'll take a motion to approve that.
Make a motion to sign the 2024 state primary warrant.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. We'll take the next two together. One is to approve the meeting minutes of June 26, 2024. And with that is accept the meeting minutes of July 24th for review. Take a motion.
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of June 26, 2024, and accept the meeting minutes of July 24th, 2024 for review.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Moving along is a vote to approve the amendment. Oh, I'm off the line. I'm sorry. A vote to approve the GPI Design OPM Services contract for the Grant Street culvert.
Yep, so at town meeting this past year, we received funding and approval to replace the culvert on Grant Street. So the first is to have everything designed, and so this is the design and contract in front of you. They'll begin the design work, and then once that is complete, we will then go ahead and reconstruct the culvert.
All right. Any discussion?
None.
All right. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the GPI Design OPM Services for Grant Street Culvert.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next is vote to approve amendment of the collecting and bargaining agreement for the DPW union.
Yeah, so what I did for edification was that I placed the MOU for this in the board's packet so that way you could review it. The agreement between the union and the town included a $350 increase in their water stipends. And surprisingly and a little miraculously, that number was not actually captured in the contract, and yet all parties signed it. And then when we went to pay, it was recognized that there was an error. So because the contract was the contract really should be amended. I thought it was only appropriate to have the board re-sign, so that way there would be a paper trail on it. But because this was not the board that actually signed it, that's why I placed the MOU from 2 years ago in, so that way you could see it was the intention of the board to agree and the town to agree to it.
Any discussion?
No.
I'll entertain a motion.
Vote to approve the amendment of collective bargaining agreement for DPW union.
A second.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Great. Next is a vote to approve fiscal year 24 end of year transfers. There are two.
Yep, there are two. So every single year, when we do our budget process, we start, remember, in December. Then it goes to town meeting in May. And that is to approve all budgets for the following 12 months. So you're really trying to gauge 18, 19 months in advance. So the legislature recognizes that not every single budget can be exactly identical as to what is budgeted for a town meeting. We always know snow and ice will always go over. It's purposely budgeted below, that there's a legal process and reasoning for that. And the only other budget this year that went over was data processing. It was $175. It was in the salary line because, again, it's one of those items that when you do your calculation for salaries, it's at sometimes 52.1 weeks versus 52.4. It's just a little bit of a rounding error. Other than that, everything else stayed within budget. So what I'll ask is the board to take a vote to do this transfer from the benefits in the amount that is captured to the other two budgets. And then tomorrow night, the finance committee is meeting, and they will take the same vote and sign. It will go to the town accountant. At that time, the town accountant and I will then start to process end of year close for fiscal year 24, which allows the Department of Revenue to sign off on it, and we begin the process of setting the tax rate for the FY25 budget season, which you'll do in a couple of months.
Just a quick question on the total amount on the snow and ice. Is that a personnel or is that a materials mixture? Everything.
All inclusive.
That's really all the sanding that was done.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
the manpower for all the sanding that was done.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure.
Yep. All right. Any other discussion?
So, ready for a motion?
All right, take a motion.
Make a motion to approve the FY24 end of year transfers.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next on the agenda is vote on the town's right of first refusal of 61A property, which is 0 Maple Street.
Sure, so this is industrial land, about 7 acres or so. The process in the town of West Bridgewater, first by state law, is that they have to contact whenever there is going to be a change of use or an intention to sell, is to contact not only the Board of Selectmen, but the Conservation Commission, the Planning Board, and the Board of Assessors. They act as advisory panels to the Board of Selectmen as to whether or not you want the town to exercise its first right of refusal. Because this is industrial land, and it's in the appropriate place for industrial land at the end of Pleasant Street and Maple Street. It is an industrial or use for contractors yard that will go in. And so the recommendation from those 3 advisory boards is to the Board of Selectmen is to not exercise your right of first refusal. And if that's the vote that you do take, we will then contact the sellers, and therefore they will handle the sale. If you choose that you wanted to purchase it, you would have to match the price of what I believe is about $1 million, and then you would have to bring it to town meeting, and town meeting would have to approve it. That process has to be concluded within 120 days, so we'd have to do it within the next 2 months.
I don't, myself personally, I look at this as whether or not it, the impact to the town, and I don't see an impact to the town on letting this property go. I know there are a couple others in the works, and I'm not sure my feeling is the same on all of those at that time. So that process might come to fruition based on my vote solely, and see what the board votes. But down the road, where there's a couple other properties coming up that could be developed residential, and I think I need to put some paper and pen to pencil to see the impact on the town versus purchasing the land. But that's not tonight. Tonight, this is in an industrial area, going to be used for industrial. I see no negative impact to the town to let this go. So that's my opinion, and the rest of the board.
I agree. I don't have any interest.
Need a motion?
I didn't know if you had a comment.
No, I don't. No, I know.
Then, we'll entertain the motion.
So the motion then, if that's the case, if that's the will of the board, the motion would be to decline the option to purchase.
I'll make a motion to decline the option to purchase.
0 Maple Street.
Yeah, so, thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, vote to approve a license agreement with Eversource Energy for gas line at the water department.
So there is an old service line that, through Eversource, originally Columbia Gas, that is servicing the water department buildings at Cedar Street. So what they're looking to do is they're asking for a license. It's the same thing, it's very similar. It's a little different legally, but it's very similar to what an easement would be. I asked legal counsel to review it. They have reviewed it, and I've also spoken multiple times with Eversource as well. This law, and I've also passed the information along to both the chair of the water department and also to the water superintendent as well. The work will most likely take about 1 to 2 days to complete. They believe it will be initiated in about a month. And what they will do is they will replace the old service line with a new main line. And this license agreement provides them, like an easement, access to be able to go into the road, open up the road, do the water, the main line, and then the contract in front of you for the license is good for a duration of 10 years with 3 5-year rollovers. So basically 25 years, because that is the anticipated life of that line. The difference between this easement is that the easement would allow them to be able to access that property for any and all times whenever they need to. And the license is that it only allows them to access that property specifically for the line and not for any other purpose. So again, I would ask you to approve that, and then I'll pass it along to Eversource.
Any discussion?
You got none?
Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the license agreement with Eversource Energy for gas line and water department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Next up, communication reports from boards, commissions, and town officials. So first on the agenda is we have a vote to reappoint Joseph Olivier to the Mobile Home Rent Control Board. No discussion. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to reappoint Joseph Olivier to the Mobile Home Rent Control Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, vote to accept Marguerite Morse's resignation from the COA Board of Directors. Again, no discussion.
Make a
None.
motion to accept Marguerite Morse's resignation from the Council on Aging Board of Directors.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If we could send a thank you for the time spent, it would be great. Next is a vote to accept Karen Lavin's retirement as the Head Administrative Secretary for the Inspectional Services Department. 27 years. Any discussion?
Have none.
All right.
Good amount of time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make a motion to accept Karen Lavin's retirement as Head Administrative Secretary for the Inspectional Services Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, correspondence from the public to determine a course of action. Hello, public. Or public comment period is what we're probably at, so. How we all doing? Anything? Nothing? All good? All good? All right. Hearing none, we'll move along. Town administrators report.
Thank you. Just a bunch of FYIs at this point. Just to inform you that, as you know, our new DPW director started 2 weeks ago. He's doing a very good job and focusing on some outstanding projects. In the meantime, we have extended the previous DPW director, Chris Iantelli's transitional assistance agreement, so that way whenever the new one needs to ask questions or needs to be able to use him as a resource, he can do that. The athletic boosters will use town property for a car wash that they do on an annual basis. Christine also reached out to the COA director in reference to the Employee Appreciation Day that we spoke of last meeting. You'll see this is the flyer. The steak and the hot dogs already look pretty good.
Yeah,
And,
Mike's bringing filet, it looks like.
Yes, and so the COA has been placed on notice and that date is available. So anything else you'd like to say?
No, we're just,
Perfect.
we're ready to go.
Thank you to Marilyn and the crew for allowing us the space.
And then, and last is that we will enter September at our next meeting, which means we'll be back into our normal rotation of 2 meetings per month, unless the board ever wants to change that. But the next meeting will be September 4th. And the reason I'm also making it as a special FYI is because that Monday is Labor Day. So
Yep.
we'll have to post a day early for the agenda. Items will have to be in a day early for that as well, to make the open meeting law requirements.
All right. Any other discussion from the board? Going once, going twice, so I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.